Hi everyone, Gordon Khartoum here in the upper reaches of the manor. It is a beautiful autumn day here in this fine part of England down here in the southwest. I just wanted to quickly talk about DEI, diversity, equality and inclusion policies. We all need a basis for truth. I believe in true statements. I believe in absolute truth. If we don't believe in true statements or absolute truth, we have baseless, senseless arguments at the end of the day. And DEI to me is Antichrist. What Antichrist means is something that is a replacement for Christ or a replacement for the order of God. See, we've been made all with different gifts and abilities. Men have certain gifts and abilities that differ from the gifts and abilities that women have. None of them are better. None of them particularly outweigh the others. They're all complementary from our amazing Creator. Even if we speak ethnically, and I think that ethnicity is, at least culture, is fluid, but we can look at sets of people, perhaps those with an African background. We can see great talents athletically, talents in music. My wife is African, so therefore a large majority of my family is. And there are certain talents and abilities that they have. And let me say now, there's no such thing as race. There's one race called the human race. The Bible says God is made of all nations are made of one blood, essentially. But the Bible also says He set the borders of the nations. So there are differences. There are different people groups. We're all of one race, but differences. In ethnicity and to the nations and the areas of the world where people are from. People are different individually, but there are subsets of people where we can go and say, you know what, there's certain strengths that we can see quite empirically. Again, this isn't always something you can generalize about. I'd say the lines are clearer between men and women than they are between people from different ethnic backgrounds. But at the end of the day, if you have an ideology or a policy that says there's some sort of inherent oppression, and again this all goes back to Marxism, which is the oppressed and the oppressor, where the Marxists come in, they stir up what they termed useful idiots and say the reason your life's a mess is because you're being oppressed by the monarchy or the current government. And then the Marxists use these people, and at the end of the day, the Marxists just become the oppressors. And they're really more oppressive than anything that came before them. So it's a very evil, satanic ideology, but it does inform DEI that many, I'd say innocent people, and even many Christians think is a good thing, but it's not. Because what it does, it says in society, for example, women and black people are inherently oppressed by oppressors, institutionalized racism or sexism, unconscious biases, all this rubbish, and therefore they're always behind in life. They get paid less, they get marginalized. So we need some policies that are gonna artificially get them into roles, workplaces, jobs, because it's just not fair. Otherwise it's just like all gonna be, they always say white men, but some industries, some niches, it's all Asian men, or it could be whatever, I love it how it's always white men are the problem. But anyway, I digress. So these people are being oppressed, so therefore they need artificial help to put them into places, no matter the merit, just judging them on their sex or their skin color, which to me is discrimination. And you want to quote people like Martin Luther King, who openly taught that it's about the content of the character, not the outward appearance. Anyway, the Marxist doesn't care. It's just convenient things for their own insidious desires and end game. So they say, yeah, so we need a quota, you need more women, you need more black people, more whatever, you know, pick whatever variable you want into your company, because they just can't get ahead because of oppression. It doesn't matter how good they are at the job. It doesn't matter about their merit. It's just, that's what we're going to do because that is righteous and that is just. But let me tell you, it's not. It's unjust. It is discrimination against all the people that could have been there because of their merit. It's artificial, and it is against the purposes of God, because he created people to be different. And there are subsets of people, for example, women, that have different abilities, generally speaking, than men, different strengths. Women tend to be more nurturing, more supportive, kind, better in social relationships. Men tend to be less averse to risk, better in leadership, better in certain areas. The list goes on. So when you say, I don't like that, and I'm going to resist that, and I'm going to put in policies and artificial quotas, you are kicking against the order of God. You are kicking against the way that he has gifted different people to artificially change things, and that to me is Antichrist. For example, I'm a basketball fan and a qualified coach. The NBA is mostly black Americans, because black Americans, there is a cultural thing of playing basketball, but also many, you know, white Americans play basketball. So I wouldn't even say it's so much cultural. It's more to do with the fact that black people genetically tend to be more explosive, more agile, just all the things that really suit the game of basketball. Just like tall people, the NBA is dominated by tall people. The average height is 6'7". So they're not discriminating against short people. They're not discriminating against, you know, Asian Americans. It's simple merit. But when we flip that around for other places, now suddenly the Marxists have a problem. Now suddenly, no, that's okay when it's lots of black people, but if it's lots of white people or lots of Jews or something else, that's just wrong. Well, I'm sorry, but you're kicking against how God made people differently, how he particularly made men and women different. So that is Antichrist. That is kicking against the order of things. Hey, even if you're a Darwinist, you believe in social evolution and things sorting themselves out through natural selection. So you're even kicking against that. So you're not even intellectually consistent. But at the end of the day, anything that wants to artificially muddle and mess with the different gifts and abilities that people have, that they should, and you know, the oppression does happen, but people should be free to be who they are, to use their strength and abilities in context, in a way that works, without shoehorning them into CEO positions or middle management, wherever you want to shove them, because of these supposed inequalities. No, don't kick against the goads of the living God. We've been created all differently, and intelligence manifests in different ways. It's not just intellectual, there's practical intelligence, social intelligence, all different types of intelligence. Some people are different in different ways, and it's okay, because that is true equality. When we look at different people, we don't assign them different values on who they are, but at the same time, we don't try and create artificial outcomes, but we just let things be how they are and give them a fair chance at their level and at who they are, because that will lead to a much happier society. That's just a short video from me. Please leave your comments below. Let me know your thoughts. Maybe you think I'm totally wrong. That's fine. Debate's fine. We don't need to murder people because we disagree with them. Let me know. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please support the channel by getting the VPN in the description. If you'd like one, they are handy these days with increasing government oppression and curtailing of freedom of speech, particularly online. So that would be really great. But I'll catch you guys next time. I'm Gordon of Cartoon.